Are you having nagging doubts about the path you're on? With all that's happening around you, that's normal. You're stuck at home, living with travel restrictions and closed businesses. You can't even watch sports on TV. If you sat down with a financial therapist today, you'd get this advice: quarantine the anxiety. Balancing your mind when it comes to your money is easier said than done, especially if this is your first financial crisis. Millennials, I'm looking at you. When money seems to evaporate and you feel like you have no control, it's easy to be afraid. I've been around the block and I can say with certainty, fear is toxic. There's a cycle of emotions for investors. It ranges from euphoria at the high point to emotions like anxiety, fear, desperation, and panic. And at the very bottom, you'll find depression. The worst time to make financial decisions is at those psychological highs or the lows. Don't let short-term emotions drive your financial choices. Right now, you're hearing a lot about how to prevent the spread of COVID-19 from a health perspective. But how are you preparing yourself from a mental health perspective? I'd like to share some financial therapy strategies you can use. These are tips to keep your head straight in the midst of a crisis. First, don't let emotions win over reason. How can you do that? Fight the very human instinct to react. Next, turn out the news. Yes, there's important information being shared, but you don't need to tune in 24/7 to stay in the know. Here's a tool to help. Turn off your push notifications on your phone. And don't let job worries consume you. Layoffs could be coming, but that may be out of your control. It never hurts to get your resume polished and to reach out to contacts to renew relationships. Try pulling out a notebook and journaling your fears. Take 30 minutes to detail the worst case scenario. Embrace it. Could you survive it? The simple act of writing things down will lower your heart rate and free your mind up from worrying. And finally, make a self-care checklist. Add things that make you feel relaxed, like listening to music, making your favorite meal, calling a loved one, walking the dog, or reading a book. Pull it out when you're feeling stressed and tackle that list. You have a choice right now. Is your glass half empty or is it half full? We're here if you need to talk. And if you know someone who could use a dose of financial therapy, please share this video.